Alright, wrestling fans, who remembers the classic WrestleFest game by Technos of Japan? It was released here in 1991, 92, somewhere around that range. It was a classic arcade game that featured 2D sprites, a bunch of wrestlers from the WWF, now the WWE, thanks to their decision to take on the World Wildlife Foundation. Good job there, WWE. But anyway, the classic game, WrestleFest, it was one of those. It was a quarter muncher. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it was designed to suck quarters out of your pocket, and it did a great job at this. I remember many a times when I was sitting in detention in junior high, and I'd sit and I'd think about the various wrestlers that were available, and I would put together dream teams, so to speak, of wrestlers that I wanted to bring together that I thought would help me win the game. And that never worked out because of the way the game's designed. You had characters such as Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, Big Boss Man, Jake the Snake Roberts. He was one of my personal favorites back in the day. Mr. Perfect, the team of Demolition, Smash and Crush. No Axe for some reason. And then, of course, you had the bosses, the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal. Most people know them under the name the Road Warriors. But when they came to WWE, that was a normal thing for WWE to change their names so they could have, basically so WWE could control the marketing better and have a clear-cut division between everybody else and when these wrestlers wrestle for them. Anyway, if you played it, you know what I'm talking about. Great game. Very tough. Suck a lot of quarters. If you're playing it on emulation, just go ahead and max out your quarters and just plow through it and just enjoy enjoy it. Well, fast forward to today, and we have a company named RetroSoft Studios who just announced they will be bringing out RetroMania Wrestling for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One console. No mention of Android, Nintendo 3DS, iOS, PC. Please announce it for one of these. Basically, this is being touted as the spiritual successor to WrestleFest. And if you're listening to me ramble on here, you'll see in the background. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's already a main connection between WrestleMania Wrestling and WWF Wrestlefest, in that the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, are in both games. Considering this is not an official or affiliated or whatever you want to say WWE game, that leaves the developers open to adding wrestlers that you probably wouldn't see in a WWE game, like the Road Warriors. Tommy Dreamer, Colt Cabana, who's, if you know his friend, former friend, whatever. I think they're still fighting. CM Punk. The likelihood of Colt Cabana being in the WWE is pretty low. I mean, real low. Like they would probably have, a stable back before him, making it on TV. It also included so far. Is Zack Sabre Jr., Hollywood Nova, the Blue Meanie, Tommy Dreamer, as mentioned earlier, Big Stevie Cool, which I do believe that's just Stevie Richards under another name due to probably legal issues with using the name. Or maybe he just wanted to get away from Stevie Richards. And then finally, last wrestler we know for sure included is Austin Idol. I don't know anything about that guy. I'll have to look him up. I am a big wrestling fan, though, man. I watch Impact Wrestling, I watch WWE Wrestling, I watch AEW specials, watch Lucha Underground, AAA. I watch a lot of wrestling on YouTube. I watch documentaries on it. I watch interviews. I don't really care for the shoot interviews, but sometimes they're fun. Anyway, back to RetroMania Wrestling here. It's going to have apparently they're going all out on this. There's going to be steel cages. There's going to be 12 to 16 unique playable wrestlers at launch. And then via DLC, which are downloadable content, they will be adding more wrestlers. You'll be able to play 2 to 8 player local multiplayer. They'll be offering one-on-one matches, tag team matches, and battle royale, and also the aforementioned cage matches. Various ring entrances, and entrance music. Multiple entrance attires for each wrestler. So this is kind of interesting. If you remember Ric Flair, when he'd wrestled, he had a different robe for pretty much every entrance. I mean, I think it's very rare for him to have used a robe more than once, maybe twice. And that man's been around for so long. I mean, just imagine how many robes he has around. That's kind of what they're talking about here. Is it's going to be there's going to be many different entrance attire. So like usually when a wrestler goes bad, they'll change up their entrance attire or something, their entrance music, things like that. Well, you'll be able to do that with RetroMania Wrestling here. And anyway, they're also promising crowd chants that react to the action on the screen. This is kind of interesting. I don't know how well this is going to work, but it's great that they're going to try. They're also promising beautiful 2D pixel art animated sprites with over 700 frames of animation and animated backgrounds. So we're apparently not going to get PlayStation 1 era crowds here, which is that's good. But finally, we're looking at a first quarter 2020 release for RetroMania Wrestling. Now, this is if you're a wrestling fan and you're tired of just mainly seeing WWE wrestling games at the store, this is your chance to help relaunch a category within wrestling games that we haven't seen in a long time. The arcade wrestler. And I mean, sure, there's been Fire Pro Wrestling releases over the years. There's been a little, even fewer. There's been releases of just general wrestling games that nobody really licensed included. Things like that. If there's been like on mobile platforms, there's been crappy wrestling games like card-based or where they mix up Bejeweled games. Things like that. But as far as arcade wrestlers like WrestleFest and now RetroMania Wrestling, it's a pretty empty field. I mean, RetroMania Wrestling's pretty much got the whole field to themselves. Which, to me, that's great. I mean, from what they've shown so far, let's go. I'm not really a big fan of the 2K series for WWE 2K. I'm not really a big fan of really any wrestling games other than I mean, Fire Pro Wrestling's just so, I don't know, it's so in depth. You got so much. They are declaring themselves challengers to your world championship belt. I just want an arcade wrestler. I just want to be able to hit start, pick my guy, go to the ring, beat the crap out of somebody, win or lose. If I lose, get mad, come back, get revenge, whatever. And that looks like what we're going to be getting with RetroMania Wrestling here. It's just some good old arcade action. As JR would say, the current lead announcer for AEW Wrestling, Jim Ross, he'd say it's going to be a good old slobber knocker time. And maybe that's what we need in wrestling games now, is just a good old slobber knocker. So if that's what you like, and that's what you want, get ready. RetroMania Wrestling is coming. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks, guys.